Probably. No, we take the dust, we did it. You don't do it live, huh? You take it up. Other one.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How are you guys doing today? Nihan, how are you? I'm doing fine. Pyro is late.
That's a Pyro seat.
I'm already. You know, I gotta respect the students.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I said I was going to post the solution, but I didn't have time to post it. So I'm going to post it later. The solution for exam 2. Okay, I did? But I feel like I didn't do it. Okay, let me see. 95. I know. This semester I'm teaching 5 full classes, which is a lot. Yeah. No, I did not post a solution.
Did see that.
So this is review sheet.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I'll show you right now.
I didn't even post a solution for the first exam.
No.
Really?
I'm not. It's for it. Sam too, 96 out of 100.
That's Korea. Solution.
Oh, the answer key? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought you meant like solution, like
No,
maybe
what-
I am.
What do you have is grades.
Wow.
So I posted the grade, but for some reason I keep forgetting to post the solution. I will. I'm taking a research class, which is really taking all of my time.
So you can be a part of the research. You didn't do it.
Exactly, I wanted to do it, but you guys didn't help me with your AI.
What are you gonna do? What do we have to do?
I don't even know, like, how should I do it? So that's why I just gave up. And I'm trying to, yeah, I need help designing my research design. So I don't know, like, how can I make it, not fashion design, my research design, like, how can I make the research design so that I can actually implicate in class and then I'll get a good result. Yeah.
I think award should be your number one assistant.
What?
You're the one.
What you guys are talking about? Like what?
Omar can help you out.
No, I said I can help you out. Like you need me to research something.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So we are done with chapter 10, chapter 11, chapter 6, every other section. And now we have two more chapters, chapter 12 and chapter 13. For chapter 12, we are going to do the entire chapter 12. And for 13, there will be only a few sections from 13. And then you're going to have your third exam and then final exam. Okay. So next exam will be either before you go to Cairo, you're here. Uh-huh. You have to sit with the buddies today.
Of course she's going to my hair, right? Yeah.
So your next exam will be before Thanksgiving or when you come back after Thanksgiving. Okay. So you'll decide that later. But it will be around Thanksgiving, either before or after. Any question before we start? Oh, and I just opened all the previous homework from the very first section till 10.11, 10.7, I think. All of them.
Can you make all the assignments through the last day of the semester?
I can do it, but then I might get into trouble. I did it before, and then I got yelled at. They said I'm not supposed to do it, the department. If I do it, then the students won't do the homework on time, what they're supposed to do so that they can learn the materials better. So that's fine. I shouldn't do it. But I still open everything and they are open till 12 or 11, something like that. November 12 or November 11. Where's that in the screen? So weird. I think November 10 or 11, something like that. I forgot to do it. So whatever you miss so far, you can still make them up without any penalty, I guess. So just go ahead and do them, all the homework. And today, I believe we will be able to finish 12.1. So then your homework for 12.1 also have a due date next week, Tuesday. I mean, it's open, but you can still do you can start doing the homework for chapter 12. Okay. And chapter 12 is kind of fun section. We're going to talk about composite function, decomposing function, one-to-one function, inverse function, exponential function, decay function, those things. So I think they'll be a little bit fun. Plus, we are going to do what is called some real life examples of where we actually use exponential function or those things. Any question from anyone? And today started, so definitely talk to your advisors about your grade. I submitted your grade to your advisors, and there are a few of you I think may not be able to pass this class. So I told them maybe you guys should drop. Jack.
Are you gonna change?
I did it on my grade book, but not on the Brightspace. But I'll update everything. No, not Phil. Yeah, 70 something, I believe. Right? Yeah. So yeah, for you guys, the dropping date is today, the last day, I think. And for other students, the drop date is November 6th. Terrence, you're late.
I know. I couldn't find an umbrella.
You know, sometimes I feel like I'm teaching elementary graders in this class. Sometimes I feel like I teach elementary students in this class. I enjoy that sometimes. I mean, most of the time.
That's like a compliment.
Yeah, not complain, it's a compliment. I have one student in my pre-calc class. He always like make me laugh. Like he always uses phone. So I like, why are you using phone? You're not supposed to use phone in class. So he said, oh, my classmate him, the guy was sitting next to him, like, oh, he's texting me. I was like, he's sitting next to you. Why should he text you? I was like, I don't know, ask him. Another day he said, oh, he's FaceTiming me. I was like, he's sitting just next to you. Like, that way he came up with all these excuses and everything to use his phone. It's just hilarious. Like, ah, man. Chapter 12. First thing you're going to do in chapter 12 is composite function. Composite function means you have one function sitting inside another function. So when you add two functions, you just add them. When you subtract one from another. When you multiply them one by another one, or divide one by another one. But composite is not multiplication, addition, subtraction, division. It's totally different. You have one function and you take another function and put it inside that one function. How do you do it? You just replace the x in one function by the complete another function and then simplify. So for example, if you have two functions, f of x equals square root of x and g function x squared plus 1, then you can make a new function h of x by putting g inside your f function. So your f, let me get a new page. Well, I do sound weird. I mean, kind of different. Probably because of the microphone, yeah. Huh? I never sang. See, so we have f of x equals square root of x and g of x is x squared plus 1. So f of g, it means you take the entire g function and put it inside the f function. Why do you see x in that function? Yeah, how it's on today? What did you do, Omar? You did something, right? I don't know, like.
Maybe a bar should get it.
So you keep the structure for your f function, the outer function, and then instead of x, you just put the entire g function inside. So this is your composite function. Okay, so you always put whatever is inside, whatever is inner function, you put that function inside the outer function. So you start with the inner function, put in the outer function. Then if you have more function, the result goes in the outer function. For example, if you have f of g of h of k of x, it means first you start with k function, put it inside the h function. Whatever you get from here, put the result into the g function. And then whatever result you get from here, put it in the f function. So this is composition. Start from the very inner function, keep putting the result in the outer function. But most of the time in this class, we're going to have only two functions to work with, f inside g or g inside f. So this one, the red box, we are putting g inside f, so we have f of g of x. But we can do the other way around also. We can find g of f of x. What does that mean? It means you take your f function now. This is your f function. You put it inside your g function. So where you see x in the g function, it will change with the entire f function. So you start writing g function, which is x squared plus 1. You keep the structure of the outer function, but instead of x, you rewrite this x with the new function, f. So whatever is inside, that goes in the place of x in the outer function.
Oh my God.
Okay. Any questions so far? Now let's do one more example. We have f of function is negative x squared plus 1. And we have g function 2x minus 2. And here they are asking to find both. This is not actually done. You have to simplify. So they cancel out and you get x plus 1. So first we are going to do, so this symbol f or g, it means f of g of x. Okay, f of g of x. This is what it means. This is same as this symbol, f of g of x. They both represent the same exact thing. They are asking, take the g function and put it inside your f function. So you're going to start by writing the structure for the f function. So f of g of x, whatever is outside, you're going to write that. We have negative x squared plus 1. So this is our f function, negative x squared plus 1. But we are not going to write x. Instead of x, we are going to write the entire g function. So we have 2x minus 2 squared. And here it didn't say simplify. So once you have it, you're done. For now. Later we are going to do more. Right now, no. We're not solving, you can simplify, but you don't have to simplify. Because it's not asking to simplify. The next one will be find the other way around. Find g of f of x. What does it mean is write the structure for the g function. So g function is 2x minus 2. But don't write x. Instead of x, write the f function. So what is your f function? This one. And this one is reducible easily. So it's the composite function, but we can reduce negative 2x squared plus 2, we distribute, and then minus 2. They cancel out, so you have negative 2x. Even though they didn't ask us to reduce, but since it's easier, so we can do reducing here. Because it's the power. So if you want to reduce, you choose FOIL and then combine. You cannot distribute when you have plus or minus symbol. Who is lost? Anybody? Then go ahead, you try one. This. The box one. The box ones. Both of them are correct. Same thing. We can, but you don't have to. Because if you do, then you have to expand your parentheses. So you're going to FOIL whatever you have, and then distribute the negative, and then add the 1. So if the question says simplify, then you must do everything. But here, see the trick, it is a simplify. So you don't have to. Think about the next one. Let them try first. Think about it. The first one, fog f. We say fog of x or f of g of x. And the next one is gof of x or g of f of x. Let them try first.
Oh, why can't be far? I know, this is true.
When you have two functions, you use O, but x is not a function, x is a variable. So when you have f of x, it's one function f of x. But when you have f of g of x, then you have two functions. So you put fog or you do the two double parentheses.
Oh, got two.
Two functions.
That's the parents believe.
That's why we don't have fox. We have
Not two, they'll be.
ready? Okay, Terence A. Amar B. Okay, go ahead. Absolute value. 6x minus x. So we have f first. The structure for f is absolute value. So you get the absolute value from f. This is the outer function. And you just have to replace x in f with the entire g function, which is 6x minus 8. So Terence, the other way around. B. So your outer function is g function. What's the structure for your g function? 6x minus 8. So you don't write x, you just have a blank space there.
So it would be actual value of the 6 only?
And then you can erase those parentheses. So instead of 6x minus 8, it's 6 absolute value of x minus 8. It's wrong.
Hey, you know, see what I'm talking about?
Huh?
Can't you put the 6 inside?
Why did you say negative? Only x is inside the absolute value, nothing else. So the original g has only x, normal x. But now when you put f inside the g, instead of that normal x, you have absolute value of x. Nothing else changed. Only the x, the variable changed. Right, so if you have only the number -8, then you should turn into +8. But you have a variable, so you cannot do anything. If you want to do something, then you have to write it twice. One is 6x minus 8 when x is positive, or it will become negative 6x plus 8 if your x is negative. So it's a different story. So that's why don't do anything, just leave them alone.
Pause first of all, why don't we put the 6 inside inside the.
Instead of absolute value. Because this, you are only replacing the x with the entire f function, not the 6 also. It's 6 and then the g function and then -8. So in a gf function, 6 f function -8. Okay, so we learned how to find the composite function and now how to evaluate composite function. When you evaluate composite function, there are two ways. First, you can find the composite function and then substitute x with the given number. Or you start with the given number and then you just work with numbers instead of finding the original composite function. For example, here we have f function is x squared plus 5x and g function is 2x plus 2. They want us to find both of them, f of g of 2 and g of f of 2. So since the numbers are given, when the numbers are given, we don't need to find the actual composite function. You can start with the inside function. First, find how much is the inside function. Our inner function is g of 2. So let me start with g of x. G of x is 2x plus 2. That means g of 2 will be 2 times 2 plus 2, which is 6. So here, this thing turn into f of g of 2 turn into f of 6. So we just found this g of 2 is 6. And now it's easier. All that you do is go to the f function, substitute x with c. So our f function is x squared plus 5x. But since you're finding f of 6, it's 6 squared plus 5 times 6. 66. So 36 plus 30, we have 66. These are final answer. Composite function. So you compose the inner function first. Whatever result you have, you put it in the outer function to compose the outer function. Question. Now try the next one. What is g of f of 2? It means you need to find, oops. You need to find f of 2 first. Find out how much is f of 2. Whatever number you have, plug in that into your g function. So start from inner function, go to the outer function. Eliza, what are you doing in your phone? No phone in class.
Who? Me. Oh, what did I do about that? Oh, shit.
Let me take your attendance now. It's a good time. Huh? So you're supposed to find g of f of 2. Please what? 30. 10:30. See today's date. Did you notice today's date? 10:30. And our class is 10:30. Yeah, I should have mentioned at 10:30. We have double 10:30 today. 10:30 date. Hyro, no phone. Krish, Jack, Eliza, Karen, here today. Alana here, Maria, not here. Daisy, not here. Justin, here. Pacho, here. Alera, here. Eva, here. Shahida, here. Lorisville, here. Marlene, not here. Cairo, here. Jiajun, not here. Valerie, here. Yeri, Amar here. Amen. Not here. Nihan here. Ingrid, not here. Sophia, here. Antonella, here. Ronald, here. Dur, here. Ivoni, here. Zahid, not here. And Terence, here. Who is ready?
I'm ready.
Good.
Oh, no, I'm not ready.
I'm ready.
Justin.
So, you have to find f of x, 2 first, right?
So we have f of x is x squared plus 5x. So what is f of 2?
2 is 2 squared plus 5 times 2.
Which is
So, I got 14,
14.
and then you substitute that, into the x value for,
Mhm.
equation. So I got 2 times 14 plus 2.
2 times 14 plus 2,
And then that gives you 28%. Right?
20 plus 2, which is 30. Wonderful. So this f of 2 is 14, so you're replacing f of 2 inside your g function, and then just evaluate. Question? Any question from anyone? Okay, one more. Find both f of g of 1 and g of f of 1.
That's great. One. Or 4 squared, got 16. Minus. Eight. Minus 8 is 8. Plus 3 is 11. So the first one is 11. And then, that one is at both one, which is 1 squared minus, which is 1 minus 2, which is negative 1 plus 3, which is independent work. Yes, bro.
Independent study or more study, bro? Please, bro.
Is it right?
We'll see.
Alright, so I did that on my Look, I get extra points for that, so if I get it right. Oh, no. I get 12 points like the other kids.
Come on.
I gave him 12 points because he didn't show the work, but here he showed the work. If I give you extra points for doing something correctly, then shouldn't I take off points when you shout out wrong answers?
I know.
See?
That's old Jack. I can't like.
Ready? First we are finding f of g. F of g of 1. Okay, go ahead, go.
One, we gotta substitute it first with 1.
In which function? F function or g function? Mm-hmm. 1 plus 3, 4. F of g of 1 means f of 4. So this is your f function. I'll only do it here. 4 squared minus 2 times 4 plus 3. 16 minus 8 plus 3, which is 11. One square minus 2 times 1 plus 3. 5. Sure.
And then it's 2 plus 3.
So g of f of 1 is g of 2. So it's 2 plus 3, which is 5. Mm-hmm. So what I did mentally was a correct one. Any question from anyone? I guess, okay, with everything. This will be the final exam. So this is the final exam question. And as well as it will be in the in-class exam. I'll give one with find the composite function, and then one question why you're going to evaluate the composite function. So 2 of these. One more. And now I'm going to ask on this side. All of you should try it because it will be in the exam. but I'm going to pick someone from the right side.
Okay. Right, so you
Nah, I don't think I'll do.
would still exists.
He's still a Westerner. He's still a Westerner.
It's just today, we don't, today.
Definitely. Got mine. Got your down in home.
Bro, you looking aside.
What was the definition we learned? Anthropology, when they get you found their home. What? The push factor.
What's he called them?
The push factor. The push factor.
Which fact?
Pushback.
And we had the full, we had the full count.
He pulled him from right side to the left side.
He's been back to that one. Don't worry about it.
Hey.
Okay, which one? Okay. G of -1. So what do you do first? So G of -1 is how much? 3. So 2 times -1 plus 5, which is 3. And what do you do with this? So f of G of -1 is same as f of 3. So what do you write? 3 squared plus 2 times 3, 9 plus 6, 15. Perfect. And also, even though they did not ask you, let's find the other one also. What is G of f of -1? Ebony, what do you think? How do you think we should start? You always start from the inside. What do you have inside? And it's with f function or the g function? F function. So you go to f function and then substitute x with -1. So you find f of -1. How much is f of -1? If f function is x squared plus 2x, so what is f of -1? -1 squared plus 2 times -1. So what do we have? How much is -1 squared? -1 times -1 is +1. And 2 times -1, -2. What is 1 minus 2? -1. Correct. So this thing turns into G of -1. Because f of -1 is same as -1. So what do? You go to the g function. 2 times -1 plus 5. Okay. See, you just learned it. So you always start from the inner function. Whatever result you get, go to the outer function with that result and substitute x with that number. Any question from anyone? Guys, I'm going to take all of your phones. No phone in class. Let me skip the next one because we have more things to do. So let me just. What? So we are going to do the same thing, but this time not with functions, with graphs instead. The left one is F graph, the right one is G graph. So this is F and this is G. They're asking what is F of G of 2. Okay. 5, how do you know? What did you do? G of 2. So when x is 2, this is 5. So we have f of 5, good. And then, so you go to the 5 in that function. Then say 7. You start with the inner function. The inner function is g of 2. That means you're going to the g function, find when x is 2, how much is the y value? The y value is 5. So f of g of 2 is same as basically you're finding what is f of 5. So you go to the 5 in the f function, and then you see how much is the y value when in x is 5. How about you try the other way around? You start from inside. What do you have inside? The inner function. What is the inner function?
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Go to the G graph, find out what is G of 2.
Yeah.
How much is G of 2? Good. So that f of G of 2 means f of 5, because G of 2 is 5. Here, G of 2 is 5. So basically you have f of 5. So what is f of 5? You go to the f function. The first one is f function. In that function, what is f of 5?
First of F of X. I'm a little slow on this.
No, here they are saying this one is f of x, means this function, and this one is g of x, which is a g function. So these are the name of the two graphs you have. Once you have the graph, they want you to find what is f of g of 2. So you find g of 2 first from the g function.
You're the one who said Bob.
So in the g function, when x is 2, how much is the y value? 5. So how much is g of 2? 5. So this thing becomes f of 5. Now what is f of 5? Because the f function,
But you're looking for the Y now.
Yo.
no, this is y equals f of x. It's the f function.
I act like that.
No, listen.
It's the f function, y equals f of x. And this is y equals g of x. Y is nothing, y is the y value. So y value here is called the f function. Y values here is called the g function. These are the names, like your name is Omar, same thing, these are the names for these two functions.
Can you put my name in the equation, please?
Omar, the next one. Find what is g of, let me see, g of f of 2. What do you do? Y is nothing. You go to either f or the g.
You always go with the one with the.
You go, okay, hold on. Look at the two right there.
In that function.
Okay, 4, so it's 4. No?
2 in that function gives you 4.
Oh,
Okay.
No, it's 4.
So this is, the inside is 4, but you're not
But
done.
now you go to the other graph.
Yeah.
You go to 4.
Yeah.
You go, and then it's 4.
Yeah.
G has 4 here.
It's 4.
You go, and this time, your y value is 4. So the answer is 4.
Like, just like a double blow.
Any question?
Yeah. What did you say again?
Okay, now you're doing decomposition. It means whatever we did, now do the other way around. The composite function is given, figure out which function is which one. So here they are saying we have a composite function f of g of x. Actually, no, let me write here. We have a composite function f of g of x is square root of 2x squared minus 6. Find out what is g of x and what is f of x. Which two functions we have here, so that when you compose them, the result is square root of 2x squared minus 6. So the final product is square root of 2x squared minus 6. Shahida. Mm-hmm. Good job.
Hold up. Hold up.
Whatever we have inside, that's your G. Whatever you have inside, that's your inner function. So here our inner function is G. That means inside the radical, whatever we have, that is our G function. Now, if you take out G function, you have only square root. Only square root, right? But you cannot have something only square root as a function. You need an X. So you put an X instead of the G function. So you start with inner function. You always look at which function is inside. That's your inner function. And if you erase that inner function, whatever remains, that's your outer function. So you replace the erased thing with an X. Okay? And I love decomposition. So in the exam, I'm going to give you at least 2 of these. And if I have space, I'm going to give you 4 of these.
No.
Not extra. I mean, 2 of them definitely not extra credit. It's required. And then the rest probably extra credit, I think. The same scenario here. This time we have what? Oh, they didn't tell, they did tell us. Composite 2 given functions. Wait, what? If f is this and g is this, then h is this. Oh, they told us what is f, what is g. You have to figure out what is h.
What?
So f is x squared minus 3. G is 5x. And now the composition, either f of g of x or g of f of x, one of them is 25x squared minus 3. You have to figure out which one is correct. F of g or g of f? Which one is this? You just look at it, not solve it. Just look at it and then figure out. Dustin. F of g? How did you come up with that? Why do you think it's f of g?
X says 25 x squared, so you put the g into the f equation, which is 5x. 5x squared becomes 25.
Good. So if you do this, we are putting g function inside the f function. So f of g of x is same as x squared minus 3, but this g function is the 5x function. So what do you get? 25x squared minus 3, which is the same as this one. So this is not g of f, this is f of g. Not n, it's x. Two more. Find out what is f, what is g. So this one they're saying this is f of g of x. And this one is also. In the exam, I'm going to give g of f of f. G of f and f of g, both combination. Oh my, which one? The first one or the second one?
First one,
First one, okay. So which one? F first or G first? Mhm.
the x plus 4.
X plus 4. X to the 6th power. Perfect. So whatever is inside should be in our function. So inside we have x plus 4, that has to be G. And if you erase the G function, whatever remains, this is F. So if you erase x plus 4, you get only power 6. So you replace that x plus 4 with x with the power 6. Now the next one, try someone else. Ronald, the next one. Radical x plus 6 is a G function. What is inside? Which one is it? Which one is the inner function? G. So which one is G?
Oh, x plus 4.
So what you told me here is actually F function, not the G. Your inner function is whatever we have inside. So you have x minus 4, and then it F becomes square root of x plus 6. This one actually has other choices. You can do it differently. How? What if I say my G function is entire x square root of x minus 4? If this is my G function, then what would be that function? X plus 6. Okay. So your choices. Question. No? One last one. Let's say this is the other way around. I'm doing f of g. Let's say this is g of f. Because in the exam, I'm going to give you g of f also. So this is g of f. So this thing here is g of f of x. So what is f? What is g? F of x, g of x. Any volunteer?
I'll take x squared.
Which one?
For Q.
For g? G or f?
For f.
What do you write?
X squared
Uh-huh.
plus x
Uh-huh.
4
Uh-huh.
radical x plus 6.
Plus 6. Mm-hmm.
Did a good job this time.
And if you want, you can also do differently. Does anyone else want to try differently? You only tried one way. Eliza, would you like to try it differently? Like different F, different G? Like they don't have to be in one way. You can make up your own as long as it follows G of F. X squared plus X. Good job. This is also one way of doing it. So basically you are replacing this with the entire thing. So you get this thing And then you have plus 6.
And then be able to
Mm-hmm.
radical.
Mm-hmm. Say it again. Right. You cannot have it alone. So see, the answer doesn't have to be in one way. We have choices. As long as the combination gives you the composite function, you're fine. Any question? One way, but I'm going to give you both f of g and then g of f. So to figure out for different question, which one is f, which one is g, and which one is g, which one is f. So with this, we are done with 12.1. 12.1. And now 12.2, inverse function. Now, inverse function, it says let f be an one-to-one function with domain A and range B. Then its inverse function has domain B, range A. And it's defined by blah, blah, blah. What does that mean? It means, let's say you have one function, f, and this one function takes the x values only from the set A. Now, once you plug in this x into the f functions, the result you get gives us the range for that function. And then if this function has an inverse, what the inverse does, it takes all the y value as x value. We plug in those y as an x into a new function, and whatever we get, that gives us all the y value, which is same as the domain for the original function. So two functions are inverse if domain for one is actually range for the other one, and range for one is actually domain for the other one. So they don't produce new materials. They take the same domain and range, but they just switch their position. And we write inverse function as f with the power -1, and then in the parentheses is x. So it's f inverse of x. It's not f to the power -1 of x. It's f inverse of x. Now, this is definitely not same as 1 over f of x. 1 over f of x has the format, the entire f of x is the base, and the power is -1. If you have this, then it's 1 over f of x. But if only f has the -1 power, it means it's inverse of the original function f. Okay. Now, example, let's say we have a function that takes only 3 x values, 1, 3, and 8. For 1, it produced 5. For 3, it produced 7. And for 8, it produced -10. So f of 1 is 5. F of 3 is 7. And f of 8 is -11. So it takes 3 x values, produce 3 y values. Now, if it has an inverse, then it does the other way around. It takes 5 as x value, so f inverse of 5, and it produces the y value as 1. So it takes the range for that function and use it as x value. So f inverse of 7 is 3, and f inverse of -10, so this is 10, -10 is 8. If inverse exists. If inverse doesn't exist, then it doesn't happen. If it does exist, then this should be the scenario. The x value for the original function is the y value for the inverse function. And the y value of the original function is the x value for the y value of the original function is the x value of the inverse function. So how do you find them? Like, how do you know which functions are one-to-one? So in order to be one-to-one function, you cannot have x value more than once. You cannot have y value more than once. You have to have one y value for every one x value. Then it's a one-to-one function. Okay. Do you remember the criteria to be a function? Each input has exactly one output. For every one x value, there's only one y value. Right. So to be a function, the condition was x cannot be repeated. X can't be repeated. So to be a function, you only observe the x. X cannot be more than once. But to be a one-to-one function, there are two conditions. X cannot repeat, also y cannot repeat. They have to be one-to-one, one-on-one. Now let's do an example. We have a bunch of pair, -6, -6, 7, 7, 4, 8, 8, 4. First, let's determine whether it's a function or not. Is it a function? Why? So x is not repeated. I mean, x did not repeat. X did not repeat. Now, is it one-to-one function? Yes or no? Is it one-to-one function? Yes. Why?
Because they're all have.
X and Y both did not repeat. So what does that mean? It means every X produced only one specific Y value. And for every one Y, you have only one specific X value. For one-to-one function, f of x equals y means f inverse of y is x. So if you are given f function, if f of x is y, then the inverse takes the y, so f inverse of y is x. What does that mean? Let me show you here. We know f of x and y are the same thing. So if you're looking for the inverse, you can apply f inverse on both sides. So f inverse and f function, they are opposite of one another. They cancel out. So you get x equals f inverse of y. So if f of x is y, then it gives us f inverse of y is x. So basically, if you know your f function, just switch x and y value and you get your y function. Sorry, the inverse function. Now, example. It says we have f function as x2 plus 2. Find out what is f of 1 and f inverse of 10. First of all, they only give us f function. They did not give us the y function. Sorry, the inverse function. So we start with f of 1. How do you find f of 1? So 1 cube plus 2, we get 1 plus 2, which is 3. So f of 1 is 3. So this information is telling us that f inverse of 3 should be 1. So this y value turns into the x value for the inverse function, and this x value in the f turns into the y value in the function. Now in the next one, they're saying the inverse is 10. So if you observe this, they're telling us F inverse is 10. F inverse of 10 is what? So whatever that is, that should be the x value for the original function, right? See here? F of 1 is 3 means F inverse of 3 is 1. So whatever we have here, the inverse, that's the x for the original F function, right? So we are looking for x. They give us the inverse function. Right.
Oh, nice.
So they're asking if this is our y value, which y value, no, which x value in this function gives you the y value 10.
2. Yeah.
So they're telling us f of x equals 10. Now, what is your x?
Oh, hold on.
So x cubed plus 2 is 10. How do you solve for x? Minus 2, minus 2. So x cubed is 8. You take the cube root. X equals 2.
Yeah, I did it.
Right, I did it mentally also, but you need to show up.
No, I just.
So this is x value for the original function. This is y value for the original function. I should write this down. X equals 1, and here is telling us y equals 10.
But I didn't I put the 2, I tested out the 2, and I said it was, I did 2 to the third power 8 plus 2.
10. Sure. So whatever is x for the inside function, whatever is x for the original function, that's the y for the inverse. And whatever is y for the inverse, that's the x for the original function. So this is x for the inverse. That means for y, this is for the original function, this is the y. You know, if you go out, you're not going to come back, okay? So do not leave the classroom. You're going to get locked. Yep, so try this too. They gave us f of x is x cubed plus 5. Find out what is f of negative 3 and what is inverse of the negative 22.
All right, I get it.
No going out, okay? So this negative 3, what is this? What is this negative 3? The x value or the y value? That's x. For the original function, this is x. This 22, is it the x value for the original or the y value? Y value for the original. So now you know what is given. So whatever is not given, find out the other one. In the first one, x is given, find the y. In the next one, y is given, find the x. So write y for f. And this is x
Because they had the parentheses.
for f.
So,
Which one is positive? The negative 3 cube? Negative times negative times negative.
and exactly. So that.
Should I take a points for the wrong answer?
Yes, yes, yes.
Sorry, 30.
Which one? Huh? You already have? What did you say? What did you say, Eliza? Oi, what did you say? I didn't hear you, Eliza. 3? Okay. Shahida, see.
Negative 22 for the first one.
Negative 22 and negative 3. Wow, two different answers. So who'd like to go? Shahida or Eliza? You? Do you guys have any complaint?
So, hit the door. Hit the door.
He has lots of energy.
I know, but the profit.
And he left now? Come on.
Just don't let him in.
Okay, Shahida, the first one. So f of negative 3 is. Oh, actually, he was right. No, it's not negative. Okay, never mind. Negative 3 cube plus 5. Negative 27 plus 5. Negative 22.
That's negative 22 and the inverse of negative 22. Yeah.
Exactly. So here they are saying x cube plus 5 is negative 22. But what do you observe? F of negative 3 is negative 22. So if you apply inverse on both sides, F inverse, then F and F inverse cancel out. So you get negative 3 equals F inverse of negative 22. Exactly what they're asking. So either you can use this logic method or you can set this up and then solve for x. It's supposed to get the same result. If you set this up, then you need to subtract 5 from both sides. So you get x cube is negative 27. Take the cube root. So you get x equals negative 3. So it doesn't matter which method you use, you get the same result. So Eliza, did you figure out what mistake you made? Any question from anyone? Okay. Now what? See? I told him he's going to get locked out. When did you guys leave? I didn't even see you guys. But wow. Okay, so now based on the graph, we are going to figure out which of the graph is one-to-one function and which is not one-to-one function. But before going for one-to-one function, do you remember what you did for just function? To be a function. Vertical line test. To be a function. A graph. Come on, guys, the colon is too strong.
Why are you afraid of all the dirt? More, you know?
I did that. It's too strong for my throat. Anything strong hurts my throat.
I know, bro. You can't go.
Whatever is strong.
Ever since you walked in, it smells so strong.
I have a throat allergy, so do you want strong smell? I already did. Strong smell. It doesn't matter it's cologne or it's cologne.
Yeah. What else? What else? Oh, yeah.
Or the balm.
The what?
What?
A bomb?
A bomb? This thing's very close to that bomb.
Okay, any
Yo, what?
like strong smell just
Yo,
hurts my throat.
I've never smelled a bomb.
not even me, bro.
Okay. So to be a function, a graph needs to pass the vertical line test. Yeah, it's either you guys or from the outside, but I can still smell it. Like,
This is when they open up the door. That's the picture right there. That ventilation right there. What's the left? That's connected to the bathroom. Yeah, like it's connected to the bathroom. So like it's like all coming down back in this time. I've done it. Thank you.
Yo, start spraying cologne.
Alright, cool, but can I smell your cologne? I think it might be. Alright, enough of the cologne.
okay, so the first graph, it's a linear graph going up. Wait a second.
Yo, guess what he just sprayed?
So the first one, is it a function? It's a function because the vertical line test. Now, how do you? How do we? How do you figure out whether it's one-to-one function or not? We do horizontal. Is it a one-to-one function? It is because it passed the horizontal line test.
Thank you. Yeah, go spray the bathroom.
So it's both function and one-to-one function. Guys, the next one, V, absolute value. Is it a function?
Yes.
It's a function because the vertical line pass. And how about one-to-one? Is it a one-to-one function? No, because it fails the horizontal line test. So this is function, but not 1-to-1. 1-to-1 means 1x, 1y, so 1-to-1. How about the next one? Is it a function? It is a function because of the vertical line test. It's the 1-to-1 function. The 1-to-1 function? Yes, because of the horizontal line test. How about the next one, the last one? Is it a function? It's a function, but not 1-to-1 function. It's a function because of the horizontal vertical line test, not a function because the vertical line crosses twice the graph. So not a function means horizontal, function means vertical. Okay, so this one, they gave us a function and it says which of these is true. First it says it's a polynomial with degree 3. Means something like cubic function. Does it look like a cubic function? What's the shape for a cubic function? The squiggly thingy. Then this one says it's a polynomial with degree 1. What type of function is degree 1? Linear. It's a line. But is it a line? So this is not true. This is not true. Then we have C, it says it's a 1-to-1 function. It's not a 1-to-1 function because look, the horizontal line crosses not once, but more than once fold. So this is not a 1-to-1 function. And then B says it has no inverse. Why didn't I tell you that? So not every function has an inverse. Only one-to-one function has inverse. So is it a one-to-one function? Does it have an inverse? No. No. It says it doesn't have, no, leave it open. It says it doesn't have an inverse. And it doesn't have an inverse because it's not a one-to-one function. So it's not none of the above. The answer is B. It doesn't have an inverse because it's not one-to-one function. So only one-to-one function can have inverse. Not every function can have inverse. Any question? No? So all this time we are talking about inverse. Now, how do you actually find the inverse of a function? There are only 3 steps. First, you're going to replace, if y, you don't see the y, replace it f of x with y. So you can see the y. When you see the y, switch or swap x with y, and then solve for x. So step 1, see your y. If you don't see it, get the y. If you see it, then you don't have to do the first step. Once you see y and once you see x, swap them and then solve for x. Eliza, no fun, please. You have only 10 minutes. For example, here, f of x equals 1/4. F of x equals 1/4 of x minus 2. Do you see y? Do you see the y here? No. So step 1, erase f of x and write this as y. So f of x turns into y. That's step 1. When you see the y, now swap the position for x and y. So y goes here, x comes here. So you have x equals 1/4 of y minus 2. And since they swap their positions, that means to get the y alone, get rid of everything else from your y. So how do you get the y alone? What do you do? Plus 2 plus 2. So we have x plus 2 equals 1/4 of y times by 4 times by 4. So from here we get y on one side and you distribute, you get 4x plus 8. That's the inside function. Sorry, that's the inverse function. To find the inverse function, you just follow 3 steps. Get the y, swap x and y, and then solve for y. So basically they are saying y equals 1/4 of x minus 2 is inverse of y equals 4x plus 8. They both are inverse of one another. And what does inverse mean? It means they are reflection of one another, where the mirror is y equals x. So if one line is going this direction, the other line will be here. And this is true. See, this one is 4x plus 8. And the red one, sorry, the black one is 1/4 of x minus 2. So this is minus 2 and this is 8. So they are reflection of one another about y equals x line. So this is what inverse means. They're reflection of one another. But the mirror is not the x-axis or the y-axis. The mirror is that y equals x line. Any question? So you do one question and then you're going to leave. This one is f of x. It looks weird. Let me write here. It's f of x equals 6x plus 1 divided by 5. Find the inverse function. Means find F inverse of X. So follow the 3 steps and you're fine. Krish, are you lost? Cairo, from next class, either use pen pencil or no, you must use. You're going to use paper, no more tablet. Okay. You only one exam left.
I think good.
You did good. That's because you were making sure during the exam you got the correct answer or not. Do you remember? So I'm not gonna do that. Like I helped you guys, right? I told you this one is wrong, this one is wrong, this one is wrong, and you went and then you fixed most of you. Do you remember that during exam? You came the most with one question. Exactly. So from next class, Cairo, no more tablets, no more nothing, no more digital device.
Right here, like this.
No more digital device for you.
That's how I learned that.
It's okay, you're going to learn better after the class. During the class, learn with the traditional method. Traditional method. The old school paper and pencil. Like, see, like them, like, see, like the right side. Look at the right side. Who is using electronic device? Who? See?
I'm just gonna say that.
Well, I trust them, but I don't trust you.
Well,
No, I got you.
next. I'm being
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the car was next to you. The car was next to you.
You can see split.
Right, unless you sit here next to Alera, then you can use your tablet.
That's fucking not bad. I do that.
So I'm done trusting you.
Wait, but I never lied about not doing work. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not doing work.
Do you think I'm blind?
I'm not lying.
I always see you doing something else.
Trust off.
I'm being honest.
You always do something else. I noticed that. And then when I look at you, it's like,
But you asked. If you were to ask, what are you doing? I'm gonna be honest. He's an honest man.
did you ever tell me that I'm not writing? I'm not writing the math. Did you ever tell me that?
No.
No. But the entire class period, from the very first day till today, the only thing you did in your tablet was writing down what you're supposed to write?
Because I do work.
Cairo, help me with this one.
I do work.
Help me with this one.
You're talking on an off day. It's an off day.
Really? I didn't give you off day. I did not give you off day, right?
You're right.
You can have off day tomorrow. So tomorrow is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You have 4 of days. Okay?
Monday no school.
No, he said I'm gonna, like today's is off day. Today is not the off day. The rest 4 days is off day. If you do that, if I can see your screen, then it's okay. See, from here I can see your screen. Huh?
He faces the back of his pocket.
Oh yeah, he can
Just turn it this way.
Turn this on and we're gonna be watching him. I'm gonna watch him.
This for Tyler is probably on the street. And it's through
Okay, kind of good. Tell me the first step. What did you?
You guys already I turned to a Y.
Okay, f of x becomes y. And then you switch.
Put the -1.
Yo.
Why do you see -1?
What?
Oh,
That's something to look over. We actually pulling 6y plus 1/5.
6y plus 1/5.
10 times 5 to both sides.
Good job.
5x plus
So your goal is to get the y alone.
5x times 1 equals 6y. Wait, what?
Wait, whoa.
Yeah, slow down. Since you want to get the y alone, that means we need to get to the 5, 1, and 6. So multiply both sides by 5 to get here the denominator.
Oh, we just switching y and that. Okay.
And then solve for y. 6y plus 1.
-1.
Minus 1, minus 1.
So it will be 5.
6y equals 5x minus 1.
So y is 6/5.
Divide
5/6.
5x minus 1/6.
That happens.
So we have
We don't have to, but if you want, you can do that. 5/6x minus 1/6. So both of them are correct. Switch x and y and then solve for y. You always want to get the y alone. So first see the y if you don't see it. When you see the y, swap them x and y and then get the y alone. So that's all you have to do to find the inverse. So we found the inverse in our next class. So we've done a 12.2 also. So make sure to do the homework for 12.1 and 12.2. And in our next class, we are going to do one more example with the inverse and then 12.3.
That's just perfect for now. Yeah, I'm really
So have a good day, everyone.
He's inverse, right? So, like, let me go for here. How accurate is our graph have to be? And I'm gonna assume since this lesson requires us to graph it, my math lab is gonna require us also to graph it, right?
No, we are not going to graph them in class. What about the mind method?
But you guys were drawing charts and everything. Like,
The graph was given to us.
oh, okay.
We didn't draw it, it was given to us.
But you said, oh, if you use the vertical line test, right, like the y test and like the horizontal test, is this a function? And I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna do like graphs, right? That's what I thought we were gonna, that's what I was like.
No, the graph will be given to you. You're going to do the horizontal line, vertical line test to test its function or not. And then the horizontal line test to test whether it's a one-to-one function or not. So in the exam, I'm going to give you some graphs. You're going to do the vertical line and the horizontal line and tell me whether they're function, if they are at the one-to-one functions.
And this is for section 12.2, right?
12.2.
Okay, and 12.1.
12.1 was composition. Composition, we were
Just putting numbers, just putting numbers in, right? Okay.
You're putting one function instead of another function.
Okay. Like actually.